Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show, the Arsenal edition. I'm in the hosting seat today, and I'm here with Gabby. Gabby, what's up?
What's up? Putting the yapper in the hostess seat is kind of crazy, but
Can you
alas, we
imagine?
move.
Can you imagine? I don't know what they're doing at the SPS headquarters, but is what it is. How you been? How's it going?
I'm good. I've been playing a certain game. Playing a certain game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, we're here to talk Arsenal, clearly. But it might turn to something else. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm in a hosting seat, so I can quite literally do whatever the hell I like. So Arsenal beat West Ham 2-0 yesterday. And apologies for how late this is actually coming out. I know we're usually within a good sort of window after the game's finished, but people have lives. People like to
Niggas was
travel.
outside yesterday, so
It was
get over it.
outside,
You'll listen to this on
man.
Monday anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, apologies for that. So with that being said, Gabby, it's coming up to the winter months, and I don't particularly like going out. That I don't like going out during the summer, to be honest. But we know what it means in the winter months. We game heavily in the winter months.
We
I'm looking
do.
forward to FM 2026. But also I'm a
You're such a
console gamer as
nerd.
well.
You're
But
such a nerd.
you're calling me a nerd, and guys, you're gonna see who's the biggest nerd here once we actually get into this, right? So, but yeah, apart from that, I like to play other games as well. But what are you playing right now? I know the answer to this, by the way, but I want you to tell our
He
listeners.
does. I'm playing Ghost of Yotei. And if you ain't playing Ghost of Yotei, I don't know what the fuck you doing.
I
I
don't know what you're
pre-ordered that
doing.
bitch. I waited till midnight so I could play it.
Did you get
And then
the
called out the
digital?
next day so I could play
If
it.
your employer, she didn't actually call out, she was sick.
I was
Yeah,
sick.
she was sick with the otitis or whatever that is. Did you get the digital deluxe edition as well?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just doing the download because I literally just had like vouchers on my account, so I was like, oh, let me just download it basically. But then I was like, oh shit, I could have got the digital ones, but there's expansion pack separately to it. But yeah, one of my friends told me he's halfway through. The game came out on Thursday, bro.
That's crazy. I've only gotten no spoilers, but I've only gotten to the Kitsune part. Like that's you being halfway through is just you haven't done anything else.
Yeah, I
I mean, I
mean,
respect it, but that's crazy.
he's got a child, by the way, just so you know. So I mean, someone might be hungry. I don't know. Um, I've literally just got the dual katanas. That's it. Like, so I mean, yeah. Obviously, I got my horse. What color horse did you pick, by the way?
I picked the black one. I
It's
picked
a
the black
copycat,
one.
man.
I picked the black one. I was like, I must. What did you
Um,
name it though? That's the real question.
what the Japanese smoke is what I named it.
Ah, see, no, I named mine that like the hurricane or tornado. I forgot what it was. It's
Oh
like
yeah, that was like the top option actually. But yeah, I can't lie to you. I have a confession to make. Ghost of Tsushima, I pre-ordered that. I think I even got it a day early, and I played the hell out of it for about 2 to 3 weeks. I didn't pick it back up again until literally about 4 months ago.
you're a disgrace. You're a
Yeah, I
disgrace.
know,
That
I
was my
know.
game of the year when that came out.
It was so good. I had no reason to drop it. Literally zero reason to drop it, other than the fact that I was playing a lot of Warzone, basically. But yeah, on to the football, guys. So West Ham, yeah. Gabby, you always talk about our bogey teams and shit. This is the definition of one. Uh, how was you? Do you know it was a weird game, 3 p.m. kickoff? But how was you feeling about just looking at the context of losing the last two at home? Like that's crazy. How was you feeling about it? Because there's a lot of people had their thoughts, which I thought were quite interesting.
So for this season in general, I literally said we need to pick up the points against the people that we drop points against, the people that we
Mm.
should be beating. I don't care about
Yeah,
the big six games. I care about the Fulhams, the West Hams, the Brightons, those people that we drop points against that we shouldn't be
yeah.
dropping points to. Um, and when they got the new manager bounce, I was like, okay, I hope this doesn't come to bite us in the ass. But I think we should beat them because I think we
Mm,
look better. Not just that we have a better squad than them, but we also look better than them.
Yeah.
they've been struggling again this season.
Mhm.
I think they're like very close to the bottom of the table, like relegation
Okay.
zone again. Um, which go down. Fuck you.
You know what, I hate West Ham, but I'm not sure if I want them relegated, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know if do I want
Yeah,
them relegated? That's a good question, man. Do
you
I want
need to
them
have
relegated?
more hate in your heart.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm slacking. I'm actually slacking.
But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say I was worried. I don't think I
Mm,
was worried. But I did in the back of my mind, I did think that this was some place that we did slip up last year. So I'm still thinking, be serious.
yeah,
Like I know we're gonna create chances, put them away and put
mm,
them away early if you can.
yeah.
Because
I mean,
Bowen, one thing about him, he's gonna try to get a shot on goal or get a goal or out of nothing.
yeah, and,
Stick
and
in his
and that's what
ass.
that's what worried me because as much as I don't particularly rate West Ham in places, Bowen is a top player. I have to give him the props, and he's just like one of those players that can decide games on his own, especially for a club of that level. But yeah, it was weird. I think overall it was weird for me because literally I want to say the last three home games against West Ham, I've been at all of them, and the 3-1 when Arsene Wenger came back to the Emirates for the first time in since he left, and I think he spoke to Bukayo. That was the first time Bukayo Saka actually met him as well. Funny enough,
It's so
he
funny.
came downstairs to the changing room, gave him a hug and everything. And Nketiah scored. I can't remember who else scored. Was it Odegaard? I can't remember.
God, that was
But
so long
Odegaard played really
ago.
well that night. And then when we generated like 3 XG and we lost somehow 2-0 and Jared Bowen, like the ball was out. Do you remember that? The ball was out and they somehow counted the goal for it. And then obviously last season was just last
Funny how
season,
that
basically.
always happens to us, the ball being out.
Exactly. So my scars were my scars, man. I was just like, yeah, and I've been to a lot of Arsenal West Ham games where we just packed them up basically, home anyway. So I was just like, this just feels, yesterday just feels weird. Maybe it was because of how cold it was. I don't know. But yeah, starting lineup. Where was you when you saw Arteta press the red button? Because that's what it was, no?
Funnily enough, I was on the Shades of Blue network this week,
Okay.
and they asked me specifically, "When is your manager going to play 2/8s?"
Mm. Okay.
And I said, "Soon." And
Well,
I
I
said, "Soon."
mean,
I said, I mean, he's going to play him soon." I think that he was going to play like in the smaller games against smaller oppositions.
mm,
Not in the big 6 games. He's
mm,
never going to do that. But I was like, "You're going to see it soon." Lo and
yeah.
behold, this week, 2/8s, Odegaard and Eze together. Rest
I mean,
Zubimendi, Rice is the lone 6.
I mean, I don't want to well actually them, but we have been playing 2-8. It's just that Rice isn't an attacking midfielder.
That's true.
So I get it. I mean, because that was generally what I was surprised about the most. I didn't think, oh, we'd never do it kind of thing. It's just how early it happened. Like, I was thinking they've got some dangerous players, Fulkrug. Somerville was nothing to write home about, but he's obviously he's got moves, and obviously Bowen. I was thinking maybe Arteta will just look at it and think we can still be really attacking, but maybe I'll just play Eze on the wing instead rather than in the middle. And then I sort of I was on the train on the way to the game, and I literally had to double take up my because I read through it. It was like, oh yeah, everyone's playing kind of thing. That's cool. And I was like, I had to look at it again. I was like, hold on a second. Where's Zubimendi? What happened? I was like, hang on. And then I realized, I was like, oh my God, he's really, really going for it. Man, I don't know. Like, I don't want to save this question till later, but do you think Arteta has listened to the voices, that might have been talking externally, or do you think this was always on the agenda kind of thing? It was just about fitness and the actual squad being able to do it.
Funnily enough, I think it's both things. One
Mm,
thing more than the other, though.
mm,
I do think it was always on the cards. I think
mm,
there's because knowing Arteta, he thinks of every scenario. So there's
mm,
no way he didn't think of this formation with this iteration of this midfield and think, yeah, we could play that.
yeah.
But I do think he has been leaning heavily on Mikel Moreno, and
Mm,
ever since we've been cussing him since that Liverpool game.
mm.
He's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna do what y'all say to do, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna say this is why I don't do it. And lo and behold, it's been working.
Yeah, I
So
mean, there could be an element of that because I do think he's got a bit of bite to him. But I'd be so worried if my coach would like let the voices externally like rattle him, like, yeah, let me just. I'd want him sacked tomorrow. honestly. Be strong, man. Don't listen to these idiots. Like, whether they're right or wrong, don't listen. Like, do what you think is best. Listen to your coaches, listen to your players, kind of thing. And that's where I'm just like, I don't know. Like, obviously, external factors will always be there, kind of thing. But I kind of lean more on the side of he's got the squad that he really wants and he's trusting it. That's what I think the difference is more than anything. He's trusting the squad, whether it's because he's got more quality or the players have just gotten better. I just think he trusts the squad more. I mean,
Yeah.
do you remember when we first signed Vieira and we did play Vieira and Odegaard together through the middle? But it didn't last that long because Vieira obviously wasn't
Yeah,
that
he's
good. And
lightweight.
do you know what I mean? And he wasn't that good physically. So yeah, it just kind of I just think it's an interesting thing because how many coaches do you think in the Premier League actually listen to the external like voices?
I think more than you think. I think you have to have a little bit of arrogance to be a coach in general, but it's
Mm-hmm.
specifically to be in the Premier League.
Mm.
But I do think, at least for Arteta, this iteration of like our midfield hangs on Odegaard. It hangs on Odegaard
Mm.
heavily. Like, he has to be fit. Like, because then there's nobody, I don't think there's anybody on the team that he trusts more than Odegaard. Like,
Probably not.
genuinely. There's nobody on
No.
the team that that's teacher's pet. He loves him
Mm.
down, the captain. And if you trust him to do anything, I think you could put, oh, well, Zubamendi next to him, fair.
Mm.
Declan Rice next to him, fair. But that other person, if you want to put an 8 in there, I trust Odegaard enough to do
Mm.
what I ask him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever that 6 is, that I can put another 8/10 in there. Sure.
Yeah.
Like, you'll
Yeah.
never, I don't think we'll ever see a midfield of like Eze and Ethan together. I don't think we'll see that.
Honestly, because of we'll get onto the injury. Because of the injury, I think we actually might, to be honest.
We'll see. 'Cause
I,
I think we're going to be
think-
seeing a lot more Mikel Moreno or Norgard.
yeah, I mean, I think we're more likely to see Marino up front soon enough. Because Gyökeres is playing a lot of minutes, then we will see him in midfield. So, but yeah, Rice is the lone 6. It made all the sense in the world to me that he didn't play the full 90 minutes on Wednesday. Like, he came off the bench because Arteta won that boy doing suicides yesterday, clearly, because he put them 2 demons in front of him and said that, Rice, you just handle all the space that we leave and let them guys do that shit on the ball. So that's pleasing to see that he's recognized that, okay, Rice actually has the capacity for it. And worst case scenario, he's still got those 2 behind him as well. But yeah.
Funnily enough about Rice, he was probably the person I was most worried about in this game because he likes to drop a stinker against West Ham. I can't lie.
Yeah.
He be getting emotional. I said, lock in, please.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose, how surprised were you that both Odegaard and Gyökeres started again? Because, Gyökeres has started every game this season so far. And Odegaard is clearly just back from an injury.
Yeah. I'm not surprised about the Gyökeres thing.
Mm.
I think that if Mikel has a striker, he's going to strike that striker. The Odegaard thing is like, that's the hard one because I'm always pause. Gotta keep being alive even when he's not here. That one's a difficult one because if he's fit, I think he starts. But Arteta showed, at least this season specifically, he's not taking chances with his players. So I was like, oh, he's fit to start. Odegaard's back again. Fair enough. And I love that because he played so well against Olympiacos. Like,
so
he
good.
was fucking balling. Man of the
so
match.
Good. Like,
rightfully so.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we're about to see the real Odegaard again. I was actually arguing in one of my group chats about that. I was like, y'all can't handle the fact that last season was just an outlier for him. It was just a
can
bad
I hold
season.
you there for a second, actually, on Odegaard and just the Olympiacos game in general, maybe even the discourse around it. Where do you think a lot of people are genuinely with him when he's performing like that? Is it are they like, oh, my bad, I thought he was finished, or, well, actually no, it's still not good enough, we've moved past him, kind of thing? Because I feel like in the Arsenal fandom right now, there's a lot of conclusions for things that are nowhere near finishing, basically. I don't think Odegaard's anywhere near finished at Arsenal.
Not even close.
Yeah.
I think that people are more of the latter. The former than the latter. There's a huge contingent of Arsenal fans who are like, he needs to do better. And that's
Mm.
fair because last
Mhm.
season was horrendous. But I also think you have to put a little bit of like context to that he was not fit all of last season.
No.
It's so obvious he was not fit. And he comes in this season, and then you have a large contingent of Arsenal fans who wanted something else entirely. They
Mhm.
wanted more of a 10. They
Mm.
wanted more of like somebody like Eze. And when
Mm.
we got Eze, they're like, oh well, now Odegaard has to worry about competition and all that stuff. I'm like, you can say whatever you want, but he
It's
was
the
never going to get
captain.
dropped. He was never going to get dropped. I don't know why I have to keep saying this to people.
Yeah.
I was arguing about this in one of
Mm.
my group chats like the other day.
Mm.
Whatever you think of Odegaard, he was never, ever in a million years going to get dropped by
Mhm.
Mikel.
Yeah.
Unless he's chucking the ball into his own net, he's going to be on that pitch.
Exactly.
I don't know what to tell you. I do think that Eze helps him in the aspect of like holding the burden of creativity. It's
Mhm.
not all on Odegaard, which I've said before.
Mm.
But I don't think he's pushing him in if I don't play well, I'll lose my spot.
Mm.
No, he's
No,
not.
I just think it's very premature. It's very it's very emotional responses of what they want rather than just looking at the reality of the
Exactly.
situation kind of thing. In my world, this is what I would do. You know what I mean? Like it's like, well, thankfully we're not in your world. So yeah, game started, and I want to know if you've noticed. Well, you probably have actually, but a lot of the top teams now, as soon as the kickoff starts, they launch it straight into one of the flanks kind of thing. West Ham didn't do that. They launched it into the half space instead, and their chance came from it, from the corner. What do you think a lot of these teams are trying to achieve when they do that pretty much? Because I hate it personally. I understand why they're doing it, but I hate it. Like, don't give them the ball, bro. You know.
I heard that. I think that the first time I like actually heard of that like tactic was on Luis Enrique because I'm not a
Mm,
tactician. I'm
mm,
sorry, I'm not a tactico. I
yeah,
will never say I am.
yeah,
Plus they're weirdos.
yeah.
But it was when Luis Enrique talked about it with PSG, like just
Yes.
to launch the ball down to have it in their half initially. But that first, I don't even want to call it a chance, like a half chance almost. You launched it into that channel on I think it was Calafiori who was
Mm-hmm,
chasing Bowen. And I was like, oh, they want to start fast. They want to like get at us.
mm-hmm,
Because I think I mean, rightfully so, unfortunately. They feel confident because they've gotten points off of us, not just before, but in our house before.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, they don't want us to get settled into our play, start passing the ball around and wait, which is what happened later on in the game, and they basically didn't touch it. They wanted to get in our box immediately, get across in. They had, I think, Full Creek was up top for them.
Yeah.
Um, trying to fight with the center backs, losing, but, but fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. There was so the weather yesterday, in London right now, it's freezing. I won't lie to you. Like, I learned a harsh lesson. I thought I could get away with one more game before I have to bring out the jacket. To be fair, on Wednesday I was in a jacket. To be fair, but I thought I could get away with it today because it was quite sunny. And I'll be honest with you guys, all the coaches' corners from now until late March, maybe early April, I'm gonna be in a huge fucking jacket, just so you know. Because it's done. Like it's over. Like it's over now. Basically. But and it was windy as well. And I think that's probably what played into Raya flapping at the first cross yesterday. And there was a few other crosses where I feel like he didn't look as confident on. But West Ham recognized that. I have to give them credit. Like they knew straight away, oh, if we can get something out of this quite early, we can probably rattle them. But yeah, it was windy as hell yesterday. Like it really, really was.
You can tell on the screen
Yeah,
too. When I was watching, I was like seeing the wind blowing in their hair and their on their kits and shorts, and I was like,
yeah,
damn, must be
yeah.
cold as fuck out there.
It was freezing. I can't lie to you. So straight away after that, we settled. I think pretty much, and in the other instances where we did give the ball away, we won it back straight away. I want to say the first chance that I can remember before Odegaard went down initially was somebody else went down in the first 10 minutes. I'm trying to remember who it was, but someone within the first 10 minutes went down, and we literally I looked at the clock, and it started at around 6 minutes, and we didn't get back playing again until around 10 minutes, and I'll come back to that. But our first chance, if I can remember, was Odegaard on the right hand side slipping through Timber.
Yeah, I think it
Apparently
was like
Timber's
4 minutes in to the game.
apparently Timber's a centre back. Talk to me, tell me.
I will be saying a lot of agendas about Timber very, very soon.
Yeah.
Actually, I should be saying them now because that's the best fullback in the world. I don't care. I don't care about any fullback you want to put against him. I
You
take
heard
Timber
it
over
from
him.
Gabby's mouth. Timber is the best fullback in the
The
world.
best fullback in the world.
And I
Like
agree.
the only thing that I ever like lament Timber about is that his attacking play sometimes, which I felt like he's a
Yeah.
little bit um
Stiff.
shot shy, or he doesn't get the his crossing isn't as good.
Mm.
But he's added that to his game this season.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing that you can say bad about him. His
Nope.
defensive play is absurd, in my opinion. I don't think there's that many wingers who's given him a bad time,
No.
like a hard time.
No.
I can't think of really anyone but like maybe one, like in the PSG
Mm.
game. That's
Even
maybe
then, I
it.
think PSG both legs. I think Timber was fantastic. By the end of
Yeah,
the
like
second leg, he was quite literally only on one leg. Like he wasn't fit, but he performed very well, very very very
exactly.
well.
He's available all the time. His
Yeah.
defensive play is absurd. He's adding the attacking package, downloading
Mhm.
that this season. He already has a couple goals. And I think at least one assist this season
Mhm.
already. I just I can't speak enough. I think that at the end, I'm gonna make my prediction now. At the end of the season, he's gonna be in our top 2 for like players of the season. Like
He's gonna be
for
team
real.
of the season. I have no doubt in my mind he's gonna be in the team of the season. I have zero doubt in my mind. He's already at that level now. He's the sample because I think if I remember correctly, the team of the season actually starts getting voted for. They start the votes around like the second half of the season. So I want to say around maybe February, March. They start around. Like he would have done it already, to be fair. Okay, yeah. So he's had that chance now. And then I think um that after that break of play, ironically, Rice gets called over by Arteta and they're having a chat for about a minute. And then we start playing again, and immediately Rice sprints over to the right hand side to create a numerical advantage there, and we get another chance from that again, and that's our DM doing that. So I don't know if Arteta just says, you know what, I want to score 10 today, or he just doesn't rate West Ham. I don't know what it was, but why are you doing? And I get we get the cover from our inverting fullbacks and stuff, but I want to know. I want to know from your perspective, Gabby, when you see stuff like that, where do you think Arteta's head is at? Like seriously.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did want to slap them.
Hmm.
Just because in a get back, like you
Hmm.
dropped points in them last season, but also we have had a couple games for in the last couple seasons against West Ham
Hmm.
where we are scoring 3, 4, 5 goals against them.
Yeah, but at the London Stadium.
Yeah, it's always at the London, it's only at the London Stadium. He was like, "We need to score at home. Like, we need to
Yeah,
slap them at home for real.
yeah,
Let's sage the place."
yeah. Basically.
That chance that I think it was Odegaard who slipped the ball in for Saka.
Yeah.
Man, it just we were playing so fluidly. We were playing so fluidly at that point, and it was only 12 minutes, and I said, "Oh yeah, we might." Granted, I watched the game back because originally when it was coming on, I was at a friend's birthday party, so like I had the game on like the whole time. For anyone who's listening and not watching on YouTube, I was looking up and down at my screen because we were at a little vineyard doing a tour. Guy
Yeah.
was talking, and I had my phone in my hand, like, "Oh, what's going on?" um, but that chance was so good. I know I'm skipping ahead, but that
Mm.
Odegaard slipping Saka in, him getting the shot away or crossing, and
Eze
Victor
missing.
Gyökeres falling on the ground, and then it was like almost like organized chaos at the moment because
Hmm.
I was like, oh, we have to score. All the defenders are all over the place, and then Eze puts it over, and I'm like, why? Why
So,
are you
so,
like
so,
this?
so here's the thing, right? I'm actually glad you brought up that term organized chaos because I think that's exactly what it is. But I feel like it's manufactured. Um, so I have been talking in one of my groups about where we can go in terms of our chance creation, and I think the key thing here is just shooting. I may or may not have said it on a Newcastle pod. I cannot remember, guys. But I think the key thing here is you get more bounces and more breaks the more shooting you do. And it doesn't have to be, from in and around zone 14 and wherever else kind of thing, you can just shoot from as soon as you get into the box. I think a shot should always be once you're in the box, the next move should always be a shot. Basically, that's the way I look at it.
You create your own luck when
Very
you do
obvious
that.
path. Go on.
You create your own luck when you do that, when you're
Exactly.
shooting.
Exactly. And I think it pushes teams back, and you're able to just, assert dominance and also just have them, second guessing themselves as well. But yeah, so essentially we keep going, we miss chances. The Eze chance for me was just
egregious. I can't lie.
egregious. It was genuinely egregious. And the fact that Trossard came up to him afterwards and just gave him a hug, I'm like, it's like Trossard's like, don't worry, that was me
He
on
said,
Wednesday.
I've been there before, brother. I know. I can't lie. That made me laugh so much. I was like very much kindred spirits.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry, bro. We're sort of the same struggle, man. Black power.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Yeah,
But
because
for
when
real,
you did against Olympiacos, I just slapped you.
yeah,
Was so egregious.
honestly, it was terrible. It was terrible, man. But yeah, I feel like a lot of my anxiety yesterday, because I think that's what I'll call it, was just based on the fact that we were dominating, created some good chances, but there's always a sting in the toe when teams will get more confident when you keep missing chances, kind of thing. So I suppose that's where I was a little bit, kind of thing. But suppose we've got to talk about it now because yesterday was largely positive, not just because of the Arsenal game, but the Odegaard injury. So I don't know how Somerville has come out of that unscathed as well, because they hit head on, like, it was ridiculous. But
Black PMP is different from white PMP.
that's what it must be that. It must be that, like, all of that. And to be fair, I think him and correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to offend anyone. I think him and Timber might be from the same island. I think they both might be from Curacao. You can fact check me on this.
I can. Let me check.
But that might be what it is, because I wouldn't want to go into a 50-50 with you and Timber for sure. Like, I'm coming out second best every time.
Yeah.
So are they both from the same island?
Let's see. I don't think so. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
I'm looking on what's it called? It says Suriname.
Suriname, yeah, okay, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. Well, there we go. Anyway, so, but yeah, in general,
so lies
like,
and deception, he's telling you.
they've collided now. That both things have collided, and Odegaard, I'm looking down. I'm like, this looks like the moment his hand goes over his head like this, I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't good, man. But he gets up and he's jogging, and that's the thing. He's jogging, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's
He's
not
very
that bad.
much trying to run it off.
Yeah.
When he went down the second time is what worried me.
Yeah.
I said, oh, he knows.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like the ball, we've won the ball back. He can actually get on the half turn and actually look up. He kicks it straight out of play. I'm like, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
But Odegaard, man, he's had shit luck. I want to say this calendar year genuinely has just been probably the worst year of his Arsenal career on the pitch. It's been really bad, not just because of performances. I just think psychologically struggling with fitness is just the worst, like genuinely the worst. And I think if we're gonna look at an actual lightning moment, it's gonna probably be that Donnarumma save from him. Personally, if he scores that, regardless of what happened prior to that and what happened after that kind of thing, our captain has got us back into the game in a semi-final. And all the speculation, all the talk about people saying, "Oh, I want to get rid of Odegaard," it goes because people are fickle. You know what I mean? How do you think things probably go for him after if that flies in?
Unfortunately, I mean, we say it all the time, but confidence is a hell of a drug.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you're high, you're really high, and when you're low, you're really low. We know what the quality of Odegaard is. At least I do. And I know a lot of people like to conveniently forget, but this guy is so good. He's genuinely one of the best midfielders in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to have a season like he had last season, I can't imagine how frustrating it was. Because you're not only injured a lot, but you're also playing through that injury and trying to prove that you can help your team and do something, and nothing is coming off. Nothing. Like, it's just, I can't imagine. Like, and then to start this season, to go out to last season to go out the way we did in the league,
Mm,
frustrating. I can like everybody was injured. It wasn't just you. Saka
mm,
was injured, Kai was injured, Gabrielle was injured at one point. It just the whole team had just fallen apart.
mhm,
But to go out like we did to get to the semifinal anyway, and then go out like we did and just really feel like we could have made the final at least, that
mm,
must have been frustrating. And then to start this season, the way you started it, get injured in one of the first few games,
mm,
then come back, get injured again, then
mhm,
come back again and get injured again. I
mm.
like, especially after the Olympiacos game, is like, bro, you just can't catch a break. Like you
No.
literally just can't catch a break. That's actually so disheartening for him. And I
I,
know like mentally wise, he's probably like, let's just take the time off and
mm,
heal, and then I'll come back in like 2 months. We have the squad to like I won't feel like I'm letting the squad down if I'm
mm,
not available, if I don't rush myself back. Which I think Mikel has learned that lesson at least twice. At
mm.
least twice. Um, if not more. But to play like you did against Olympiacos and then finally get that man of the match and like be like, okay, you're finally on the mend, you're getting your form back, and go out like you did in the first half to get substituted 3 times. I think that's the first someone's gotten substituted 3
Ever.
times
Yeah.
in a half, and like in the first half in 3 consecutive games is just, yeah, man. It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah. I feel terrible for him, man. And yeah, I think there's probably maybe 2 players I want to say that I would say in this current squad that if that was same thing were to happen to you as well, like I'd feel just as rotten, and it would probably be Rice and Saka for me. Like Odegaard is just as important as those guys as far as I'm concerned. Whether people would admit it or not, he just is for various reasons. But speaking of replacements, do you think this means literally more time for Wanyeri, or do you think Eze ends up getting more time now in the middle as well?
I think Eze's gonna get a lot more time, but I also I know I'm kind of like towing the line every time you ask me a question, but I do think Ethan's gonna play a little bit more now.
Mm,
I think the problem with Eze is that he's like kind of like Calafiori
mm,
almost. He tends to fade a little bit in the game sometimes.
mm,
I know he can pull out a moment of magic like he did
mm.
it against Man City,
Yeah,
um, but he's a little bit less effective later on in the game, especially when we're asking him to run a lot, like
yeah,
asking him to run a press a lot. Being in Odegaard's position is very demanding, which is
yeah.
why Arteta mostly only trusts Odegaard to do it. Uh, but hopefully we do see a lot more of Ethan. He injects, at least even just coming off the bench,
Mm,
he injects a little bit of pace. He injects a little bit more of directness,
hmm.
which we have been trying to do a lot this season. We've been a lot more direct than we were
Yeah.
last season. Last season was, I'm going to say, hopefully was an outlier with the way that we were playing.
I feel
We
like
were
it
in the
was.
shoe horse. Yeah, we were in the shoe horse of death. Like,
Yeah.
it just.
Do you know what? Actually,
Uh,
I've actually just had an idea. I think Ethan and with Kai coming back, hopefully within a month, I think Ethan and Kai could actually be a really good 1-2 punch sort of move, because I want Ethan as close to goal as possible. Basically, I know we're grooming him as a midfield, not grooming. Sorry, we're that's so
bro,
bad. We're trying to essentially make him the Odegaard alternative, basically. Um, but I think his gifts are just so much more useful closer to goal, whether it's creating or
I
scoring.
agree.
And with Havertz, hold up play closer to goal, I just think him being able to, attract players and, get Ethan that extra half yard he might need. Ethan could score a lot of goals playing with Havertz. That's where my mind is going right now. And I don't know if the injuries will overlap where Kyle will come back and Odegaard might still be out. I'm not too sure, but I would love to see both of those two play together quite a lot. I think there's a real potential there for sure.
I know we're off track, but it's honestly kind of funny that you said that because I've
Mm,
been thinking about that, but not with Ethan, but
mm,
with Gyökeres. I
mm,
think playing Kai in midfield again, while Odegaard's out for a little bit,
mhm.
if he comes back
Yeah,
and gets up to speed, because Kai is a monster, but he's been
yeah,
out for a while,
yeah,
so
exactly.
he's gonna be rusty. But playing him with Gyökeres is gonna be interesting because I think Arteta will do that at least once this season.
Mm,
And if he does all the second striker stuff for the hold
Mm.
up play, all of that stuff, Gyökeres can be free to just shoot.
Yeah, he
which
can
is what he
actually.
wants to do.
He should be able to. He should be able to absorb more of the contact that Gyökeres gets into as well, which will allow Gyökeres to just kind of focus on his direct running.
I agree.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot. I'd love to see what I actually would love to see if we do that. Zubimendi and Rice in the middle. Defense is a defense. Doesn't really matter.
Basically, we're just saying we just want Kai Havertz to come back.
Yeah, basically. But who do we play on the side? Saka obviously has to play. Right or left doesn't matter. Saka and Madueke actually wouldn't be a bad shout with Havertz and.
Do you see why we can't have a Yapper as the host? You're supposed to keep me on track, and here you are, like,
honestly,
you know
actually got me thinking. I was gonna start his wood out and shit.
Oh my god.
But yeah, okay, cool. So, look, we have probably, I want to say, 8 goals from open play this season. I want to say.
I think that's right. Yeah.
About 8 goals from open play. So we're on track to do better than last season in terms of our creation from open play. So it's no surprise to me that our opening goal today came from an open play chance after the Zubimendi substitution. And Zubamendi's passing for me, Gabby, is so clever and so problematic for opposition because again we talk about angle by stuff like that, but it's just more about the intent. Like he's putting you through so that you don't have to take a touch, and that's where Eze comes in. Tell me what you feel about that sort of partnership where you have a midfielder who's just essentially just creating clear, not I won't say completely clear cut chances, but chances where you can get a shot off basically from the base of our midfield, not from attacking midfield.
So Zubimendi is. I'm so grateful to have him. I'm so grateful to have him in our squad. Having Odegaard come out and Zubimendi come in is a blessing, genuinely, because the way our squad looked last season with like 5 defenders on it and a goalkeeper, was dark. It was really dark.
Yeah.
But him playing in I think the stat was he had 11 line breaking passes in this game. 11 line breaking passes. I mean, he's absurd.
Yeah.
Like it's so obvious why Barcelona wanted him, why Pep wanted him,
Liverpool.
Liverpool wanted him. I think Xabi Alonso also wanted him at Real Madrid. I mean, he's just such a great midfielder. I think we can already see what he's good at, but I'm actually really excited to see what Mikel also brings, like what else he brings out of him. Like Declan Rice. We already knew what Declan Rice was good at. He was good at being a lone six sweeper. I almost said sweeper keeper. Sweeping around the midfield and picking up everything. Loose balls, interceptions, all of that. But now he's a box-to-box midfielder.
Yeah.
Now he's pulling whatever more of the attacking play from Declan Rice. And I'm very curious to see when Zubimendi keeps playing for us and when he I don't even want to say when he gets the chemistry with his teammates. He feels like he already has it.
Yeah.
It feels like he just slipped in so seamlessly. It's actually so crazy. I can remember at least 3 line breaking passes he made in this game. And to think that he made 11 is so crazy.
Go on.
No, I was gonna say the verticality that we're getting from him is kind of absurd. And it's exactly what we needed when we needed it.
Yeah.
I talk about Odegaard and Eze in a way that when we were linked with Eze, I was saying that Odegaard is not a 10 anymore. He hasn't been a 10 for a while. He's now officially an 8. But I always thought about Odegaard like David Silva now. And if you have a David Silva, you need a Kevin De Bruyne. And if that's going to be a Kevin De Bruyne, as it's going to be a Kevin De Bruyne, that's fantastic. That works well together. But now you have another midfielder who could possibly be another David Silva if he really wanted to. And I know he's technically a 6 who has a lot of attacking like prowess or like his passing ability is absurd. But like he likes to roam a lot, and Arteta's letting him do it. He's very much playing back and forth with Declan Rice. You go, I go. And I'm like, Zubimendi at the top of the box taking shots. Zubimendi passing in first time balls to whoever's running into the box. Zubimendi doing whatever he wants to do. I'm okay with it. Give him that for real. Let him do whatever he wants.
I have one more question. So do you think Arteta has finally shaken the tag now in 7 short games as a defensive coach?
No, I think he's still a defensive coach. I think that's the thing that matters him the most.
Mm,
However, I do think he learned a lesson last season where the draws that we were getting weren't good
mm,
for us. Too many
yeah,
draws that we couldn't turn into wins. And
mm,
like I said, always context. We had a lot of people out. We didn't have
yeah,
a great attacking bench in general.
mm,
But we really need to put more emphasis on getting a lot more shots, creating a lot more opportunities.
mm,
So you're not lamenting the shots that you don't take, the chances
mm,
that aren't going into the back of the net because we were doing a lot of too much of that last season.
yeah.
Everybody lamented the 1 or 2 chances that we didn't. He has to score there. He has to score.
Mm,
It's Trossard's fault. It's Martinelli's fault. It's Kaya's fault. It's whoever. When you're creating so many chances that you don't even remember the shots that you don't put in the back of the
mhm.
net, that's when you're at your best.
Yeah, I'm total agreement with you. And you just gave me some PTSD of the Fulham game where we thought we won, and then Saka had that goal cruelly taken away from him. That for me, that was when my Premier League season ended. Like, I don't know if I told you guys that, but that was so rattling for me. But it was because that was really the only real chance that we had. And it was like, and we scored it, and it was like, but it got taken away. So you're right. The more we shoot, the more chances we create, kind of thing. I don't remember half the shots we took yesterday. I just know that we had a lot.
I
Um,
think I looked at the stats,
mm,
and no joke, I think we had like 20 shots in like the first half or something like that. It was something crazy, like 15 or 20. I was
standard,
like, we took like that many shots?
yeah, standard 3 p.m. kickoff for the Emirates. Like, that is what I'm used to. Genuinely, what I'm used to. But yeah, so we go in 1-0 up. Did you have any sort of expectation for second half? Do you think we would probably just go on to win this like 3-4-0 and not another Olympiacos?
Listen, Yapper, I know we've been yapping, but we're not going to skip over the goal. Declan Rice?
I thought we did. I thought we did
No,
speak about it.
we didn't talk about the goal. We didn't
Ah,
talk
okay,
about the
cool. All right.
goal.
So actually, no, just on the goal, actually, I noticed straight away when he scored, he just looked and glared at the West Ham fans. Like, I couldn't see his face obviously at the time, but he was just glaring at them. I know they were giving him some shit, and he's like, I want to keep it respectful, but you guys need to know who you're actually talking to. you know,
Yeah, jogged around the goal. I was like, he's so he's
he's
so
petty.
funny.
He's
Him jogging
petty.
around the goal and looking up at them like he needs to celebrate because the way that they've been moving is so crazy. That's
yeah,
why I hope they get relegated.
yeah. I mean, do you know, just on the goal though. I mean, it obviously came from Zubimendi's pass into Eze. Eze's hit it really, really, really good shot across the goal, and then
Very
Declan
good
Rice's
shot.
foot is following in. It's pretty much an identical chance to the one that Eze missed, actually, funny enough. But this is the point I'm making about shooting when it's not a perfect chance. Like, that's a good chance, but it's not like the perfect chance. And I feel like Arsenal were, for a long period, I want to say last season, we're scoring goals, obviously, but a lot of them were like, you had to score them because you worked it in such a well worked way that you have kind of no choice. Whereas with a lot of the time this season, I'm seeing goals go in, and I was like, oh, do you know what I mean? It went in.
Literally.
No way.
Like I said, make your own luck.
Yeah.
You got to make your own luck. And I think it's funny that you said like it's almost exactly like the chance at Eze missed because this chance literally we replicated like 3 times.
Mm,
We
mm,
replicated like 3 times. Declan Rice just happened to score this one. Eze missed the first one, but this one had to be Eze running in behind and getting the ball from Zubimendi. The
yeah.
first one was Timber running in
Yeah.
behind, I
Yeah.
think twice, and
Yeah.
taking that shot. And I was like, damn, we're actually balling. Like,
Yeah.
we're like replicating the same chance over again. And it's a good chance too.
Mm,
It's a good chance. Slipping in the man, I don't know if it was intentional or
mm,
if that's just the way that we were such in flow. But
mm.
I was like, oh yeah, we look good. Like we actually look good for real.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I like this. This is, yeah.
I think what's interesting as well is that it's not only just Saka holding the width here. Like, Saka's actually getting into a lot more central positions, but somebody's always holding. Sometimes that's before his injury. Odegaard was holding the width, and Saka was in the central position here. I don't know
Exactly.
if you saw it actually. Arteta did an interview, I think, with Brazilian ESPN, and they were asking questions about who's the this and who's the that, basically. And he asked him who's the best finisher at the club. Do you know who he said?
Was it not Jokeris?
No, He said Saka.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Very, I know, and it's really got me thinking that he's probably given Arteta's probably given Saka a task of saying, we know we've got Yokers, we've got Havertz kind of thing, but you're actually the guy, which will probably lead into the penalty, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But if he thinks he's our best finisher, then surely he wants him getting a lot of chances rather than him, doing shifts out wide, beating players and creating for others. He probably wants him in scoring positions a lot more,
I mean, like I've been saying, this last season was just, we just have to throw it away. But the season before that, you always want Saka to get to closer
yeah,
to 20 goals.
sure.
That's what you want him to do. You want him to get about 20 goals, and you have to get him multiple shots. And if he, in the last 2 seasons, he's been double or triple teamed on the wing.
Mm,
Now you have somebody who can who can occupy center backs, who is getting double teamed himself in the
mm-hmm,
Operas. And that leaves Saka open
mm-hmm,
to
yeah,
take some more shots, and I'm happy with that.
yeah. So yeah, on to the second half.
No. You look
What?
at you rushing me.
I'm
I
not
need to
watching
talk
you.
about my white boy, Calafiori.
Look,
That shot at
look.
the end of the first half
Oh,
that hit the
when he tipped
post.
onto the post, yeah. We're gonna get onto
Oh,
Calafiori, but I want us to actually, ironically, I actually want us to do the left side in general because we haven't
okay,
spoken about the
fair.
left side
Fair.
at
I gotta
all.
keep the yakka in check, you know?
Yeah, no, we haven't spoken about the left side in weeks, and that's a good thing.
That's a
Um,
great thing. Because I'm
but
tired of complaining about them.
basically, yeah, I suppose onto the second half. Um, we still create some really good chances, and I suppose my question to you is where let me actually frame this in the best way possible. How many points or where do you see us winning the league? March or February? And how many points ahead will we be?
I will say this. As negative as people call me, I would rather be the front runners and having somebody else
100%.
chase us out. I do not think we are good chasers. We're not good chasers. I would rather we be in front, and I worry about us dropping points, but then we have to worry about ourselves. I don't want to have to think about other teams doing us a favor against
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool or against City or whatever over that.
Mm,
That's from 2 years ago.
mm.
So I'm thinking, what did Liverpool win the league with last year? Like 86 or something like that?
I think it was 84 points, but the
84?
actual tally they got to actually seal the league, I think, was about 74 or something like
Jeez.
that. Yeah,
God, that's how you know the league was all shit and tired.
yeah.
That's my God.
It was something like that. It was in the 70s, I'm sure. So
So then I'm thinking, if we will only worry about ourselves, we have the squad to do it. Barring let me knock on wood. Barring any absurd injuries, like people out for months, then I think that, I mean, other than Nani, because he's been out 2 months by the time he comes back.
yeah.
I think that we'll get into the 80s. I think that we'll get into the 86,
Mm,
close to 90. But it also depends on if somebody's running us down. Like, I
yeah.
think you play better when you know you have to think about what the other team is doing.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm totally
If
with
you're
you.
just vibing and the other team is 5, 10 points behind you or whatever, 8, 10 points behind you, you're just like, whatever.
Yeah. I think that probably helps with any sort of competitions as well. Like if we get I'm not saying that we will, guys. This question was obviously tongue in cheek, but let's just I suppose forecast if
Let's
we
be
can.
positive for once, since y'all
Yeah,
keep calling me negative.
let's forecast. Let's just say hypothetically we have a good lead in January, February, late January, early February. Let's say we've got a 6 or 7 point lead, right? Champions League starts ramping up again. We obviously have to maintain momentum, right? But that means you can start looking at the league and start saying, "Do you know what? Maybe I give Saka 45 minutes on Saturday because we've got PSG in the quarterfinals. I give him 45 minutes on Saturday. That should be enough, but he can go full tilt at PSG in midweek. But we've gotten a little bit ahead of ourselves anyway. So our left-hand side, Gabby, we haven't spoken about it in weeks, and I know for a fact the main reason is a fella from Italy. But also, and I have to be fair to him. Trossard's form from starts this year, outside of I want to say City, haven't been bad. I don't think he's actually played bad. He's actually played bad from the start. But obviously, we've got Eze there as well. Can we officially say the left hand side is fixed?
I'm gonna say it. Say fuck it. I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. You know how I felt about the left hand side last year specifically.
Yeah.
I said y'all need to get Martinelli out of my face and to be done. I'm tired. I was really tired of hearing the somebody will unlock somebody argument. And obviously we needed to reconfigure our midfield. I think a lot of that has to do with Zubimendi coming in and playing a lot of minutes so far this season. But Calafiori's also been fit and he's been playing basically every game. Other than I think the one that Miles played against Olympiacos and maybe Port Vale.
Yeah.
Yeah. They look great. The left hand side looks great. They're playing a lot more fluidly than I mean, nobody played fluidly last year, but a lot more fluidly than we played in a while.
Yeah.
I'll say that. In at least 2 years. And
I
I
mean,
think it's because I want to say Arteta knows who his like best squad is, like knows who his best 11 is.
Yeah.
Like, and even if you take a few of those people out or maybe one or two, the rest of those people on the bench, one of them or two of them will slip in seamlessly. It's not creating a type of what's it called? Not discontent, but you know what I mean? Like
disparity basically between the quality of who's starting and who's coming on. The gap is quite small to be, because if we're being honest there, the gap between Martinelli and Trossard isn't that big. That it just isn't. And Trossard started yesterday, but Martinelli could have. And yeah, we had those two players last season. But if you want to go take it a step further now, we've got Madueke as well. There's not a huge gap between all of those guys in my eyes. You know, so yeah, I think you're absolutely right there that where the left-hand side, should I say itself, there's been a lot more consistency in the performances, but also with just the consistency of staff available as well. Like Rice is ever present, we get that kind of thing. But Rice hasn't always played it this season. It's helped, but I think the attracting of defenders to that side because of Eze kind of thing. But also one more thing, actually, this is what I want to ask you. We keep we keep flicking the ball over into space, and Rice keeps on attacking it. We know what the right hand side looks like when we're building up there. It's a 1-2-1-2 with Eze, not with Eze, with Odegaard and Saka. But on the left hand side now, we actually have something that we can use on that side. Do you think there's probably more to come for it there? Because right now, that's cash money. That's genuinely cash money.
So I saw somebody say this on Twitter, but I was like, is this a coached thing that they're doing, or is this just like they're in flow? And I think I might actually have to give this to Arteta for real. I think that's a coach thing. I think that's intentional. Like them getting the ball on the touchline and directly lobbing it into the channel for somebody running in behind. I mean, it's how we got our first chance in the second half.
Yeah, it was.
That Gyökeres just couldn't get to. It was just like it happened so quickly, and I think it happened against Nottingham Forest, was it? When Eze got his first assist for Arsenal,
it was that as well. And then obviously, but also Gyökeres' first goal, again, a lobbed ball into the left channel, someone darting into the space. I feel like it's manufactured just from the fact that our left attacker is essentially drawing out the fullback, and that means space automatically straight away for someone to run into. Teams are scared of the left-hand side now, is the point I'm making, which is great.
It's fantastic. That's what I was asking for all of last season. A well-balanced left and right side. Because the right side has been perfect for so long. I just need the left side to actually hold their weight a little bit more. And I think you needed players who have played together and get that chemistry. Because when you're coming in and out of the team, sometimes it's Miles, sometimes it's Calafiori, sometimes it's Declan in the midfield, sometimes it's Mikel Moreno or someone else, sometimes it's Martinelli, sometimes it's Trossard. They don't all play in the same way. Especially Calafiori and MLS. They play very differently. Yeah. And what Mikel allows them to do is also very different. Yeah. Calafiori can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can roam around. He can be on the right side, left side. He can play as a striker and a winger. Mikel said whatever. Miles is much more, he keeps much more in shape. Yeah. But it once you know who you're playing against or playing with, you start to be like, okay, this is the patterns of play that we're constantly going to be doing.
Mhm.
Like this is what we're looking for. This is the run I know you're going to make, so I don't have to look up and try to figure out where you are because I know where you are.
Yeah, and I just have to reiterate, guys, we're talking about the left hand side, not the right, because everything you're saying about the left hand side, you could just literally repeat for the right hand side at this point for the last 3-4 years.
Yep.
That's been never been broken, you know. But the left hand side was, especially immediately after Xhaka left, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, you know, you don't usually do this, but just on West Ham yesterday, were there any players to you that stood out? They were pretty meaty, they were rubbish, but were there any players to you yesterday that stood out for you?
That stood out? Not necessarily. I thought we'd see more from Somerville, maybe.
Mm,
But maybe that's because I just like him. I
mm,
think he's a good player.
mm.
But I know what our defense looks like, so he probably wasn't gonna get anything from them anyway.
Yeah,
Um, I didn't see anything that I was like, yeah, this is very prime time, like Paquetá. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
or this, it just they didn't really get on the ball. And that's a credit to us because we kept them from getting on the ball.
yeah. I mean, I'm legit looking at the heat map now from yesterday for Arsenal, and the attacks look pretty well spread between the right and left hand side. But surprisingly, there's a lot of action in the middle of the pitch, which we couldn't say say for
We
last
definitely couldn't say last year.
season. Okay, let's get onto the fun part, stats. Right. So we created 2.77 expected goals. West Ham created 0.49, according to not form of say to SofaScore. Yeah, we had 21 shots. 4 of those were big chances. West Ham had 2. I'm gonna count one of them was the header in the first minute, and the second one was, I want to say, actually no, that I'm
And
thinking of Olympiacos. No, they
probably in
did.
the last minute, like the 97th minute, they had a corner and they like headed
Okay,
over that one.
sure. I'm not going to read too deeply into it but again, it's a bit annoying that it's happening in quick succession with Olympiacos. But Ariolo only made 3 saves, considering the dominance. I don't like that. I remember watching Arsenal against Blackburn in 2003, and I think Brad Friedel made about 14 saves that day. We lost 2-0, by the way, just so you know.
Very
But
peak Arsenal.
yeah, but again, 3 saves, I think, no, we got to do better there. But yeah, I still think there's a ways to go. The last 3 games, this 3-game block of Newcastle, Olympiacos, and West Ham, we scored 6 goals. To my mind, that could have been 12 in those 3 games.
Legitimately.
Yeah. So
Legitimately. We were
that's,
definitely leaving goals on the table,
yeah.
especially today. I mean, at bare minimum, we should have had at least 3 to 4 goals today.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a chance alone, he should have scored.
Yeah. Facts. And I think the timing of when you score goals as well can essentially determine just what sort of day you're gonna have. Had we scored
Absolutely
early
agree.
against Newcastle, I think we run away 4-0 last
I
week. I really
absolutely
do.
agree. I
You know.
think I talk about this a lot actually. When you score goals is so important, especially if you're like, let's say you're scoring in the first half, it
Mm,
demoralizes you. You know what I mean?
mm,
Because if you go into halftime with a mountain to climb, you're already like, let's set up shop and just
mhm.
try not to concede it anymore. You
Yeah.
know, you're not gonna go, oh, they missed a bunch of chances. What's the law in football that we always say? Law online. We'll say like, if you miss a chance, they're gonna go down on the other end and
Yeah.
score.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
saw if anybody was watching that Liverpool Galatasaray game, that is
Yeah.
literally the epitome of that
Just
law.
just Newcastle last week.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, that's the epitome of that game. Like, it's just so crazy to me. Anytime you miss a chance, especially one that you absolutely should score, they
Mhm.
always come down the other end and score on you. And you're like, all right. Like,
Yeah.
you just knew it was going to happen. And I'm glad it didn't happen in this game
Yeah.
specifically
That
because, I mean, it
West Ham.
happened
Yeah.
to us against Newcastle, like you
Yeah.
said.
Newcastle happened, but Nuno would have started bringing fans on the pitch to play in the low block. Like, it would have been nasty business, man. But yeah, we got something. I want to say lucky, even though it's not because it's the law, so they were right. But we got a penalty, right? And
You
some
did.
people are like, "Oh, look at Arsenal not talking about the refs this week." If you foul someone on the line, these are the rules. If you foul someone on the line, it's a penalty. That's it. Point blank. Period. But I have a question for you, Gabby. Did you see the antics after between? Wasn't really antics, shall I say? Bukayo Saka strolling over like in slow motion, basically, to pick up the ball and walk as slow as he can back towards the goal. And he was approached by someone. Do you know who that was?
Probably Jokeres. It's probably Jokeres.
He was. He was. And he was, from where I was sitting anyway, he was just talking to Saka, is what I want to say. And Saka was just not interested in the slightest. He was just not interested. He just walked toward the penalty spot. And to be honest, I like that. You know, I don't know what you think about
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say, listen, I love a striker who wants to score goals, so fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, but I more enjoy the fact that Saka's like, no, just get in the field, bro. Get in the field, like get your own goals, bro. Like, stop worrying about my goals, bro. Get your.
To be fair, I literally, when I was like, when I was still at the Vineyard, I was like, I looked down and I see we had gotten like a pen, like Saka was standing at the line. I was like, oh, we got a pen. And I was watching it, I was like, wait, Saka's taking the pen. I'm so confused. Like, and then somebody was like, oh, this will be his whatever goal, you know, for the milestone. I said, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense because they had decided at the beginning of the season that Jokeres was going to take the pens.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mikel said it. He was like, Jokeres is going to be our penalty taker. And I was like, that makes sense. He should be our penalty taker.
That I didn't know.
But him Saka deciding to take that pen off of him, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You should want to score goals. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying you should fight over it. I think that gives me the ick every time. When I seen them fighting over it at Chelsea last season, I said,
yeah.
That's
always to me. That's always a sign of fracture as well. Like there's a fracture there because if you can't even agree on who the penalty taker is, like there's problems there. But yeah, Saka stuck it away like with so much confidence. We ended up running out 2-0 winners there. The subs
before we get away from that though,
yeah.
I will say, Timber, that touch on the pen was just so sensational.
Yeah.
It was so sensational. The touch and turn was so clean that he just could do nothing but foul you.
Yeah.
And for anyone who is listening to this, I know it's mostly Arsenal fans listening to this, but anyone who's listening to this and thinking that wasn't a pen, it started outside the box. He continued to foul him into the box.
Like it's the rules. Like we don't even have to. I don't even have to agree with any of the rules, but these are the rules that they set themselves at the end of the day. Like if they can't stick to it, then what can they do? Do you know what
exactly.
I mean? And they don't stick to it, by the way. We just got lucky this week, so I'm under no illusions. Like we just got the rub of the green hair because they're rubbish. So every so often, a shit decision or a good decision will go for you in your favor, kind of thing. But I'm under no illusions. Like next week or after international break, the same thing could happen and we won't get the pen. That's just the way things happen in this country.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah. Quickly, got a few more things to talk about before we get out of it. But Arteta and generally his thought process for the team. Do you think he has a first 11? Like he's genuine bona fide first 11?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Do you want
now
to
that's it. That's the caveat is if everyone's fit. I think I know what his first 11 is.
Do you want to name it?
Sure. I'll name it. I think if everyone's fit, I think it's Eze on the left. I think he's on the left wing. I think Kai is up top as the striker. I think Saka's on the right.
Okay.
After that, I mean, granted, the only person that you could even possibly change is Kai. You know, he's probably not going to play every game, especially in the smaller games. He'll play the big 6 games. He'll play all of the big games, but maybe not some of the smaller ones. Then Jokeres will come in. Midfield is, if everybody's fit, it's always going to be Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and Odegaard.
Okay.
All 3 of those people will play, unless somebody is out for rest. That's your starting midfield trio. And then I think where you might get the most parity probably is the defense, maybe. Ben White hasn't looked that good, but I think his body is a little bit cooked because he played a whole season injured. And Timber has been out of sight. So he grabbed that position with both hands. So if he's fit, he is starting. Gabriel and Saliba are starting, obviously. And then the left-hand side is where I feel like I've seen a lot of conversation in the last 2 days about, and in my opinion, it's Calafiori who's starting.
Yeah.
We haven't now. Granted, that's the caveat is we haven't seen Nketiah. I don't know if he'll start if
Mm.
if he comes into the team. But if it's between Miles Lewis-Skelly and Calafiori, I think Calafiori is always going to start.
Mm. And what about between Raya and Kepa?
You don't notice how I didn't even say it because you already know it's going to be right. Stop the nonsense.
I think I agree with you. Yeah, I think I do. I had a conversation with my friend, long ass conversation at the beginning of the season about Gyökeres and Kai, and I was just like, it's not really about what I want or what I think kind of thing. It's just genuinely what I think will happen more than anything. And Kai Havertz could be injured for the next 4 months. The moment he's fit, he's going back to the first team.
Correct.
Like,
I like.
it's just the way of the world, basically, under Arteta. That's what I think it is. In those 4 months, Gyökeres could change our lives. He could end up developing all sorts of shit. A Harry Kane gene where he could do everything up front kind of thing. Arteta's probably still starting to Havertz, you know.
I do have a question about Gyökeres I want to ask you because I was thinking about this yesterday.
Go on.
If, let's say Kai comes back.
Yeah.
And he's not that rusty, he's coming back into the team. And Gyökeres gets dropped. Do you think Gyökeres, as a person, like professionally, do you think he would be happier if he were playing while Kai is out and not scoring, but doing everything else that he's that's asked of him, and they're winning? Or do you think he would be happier if he was on the bench and coming off the bench to score? He was scoring more goals on the bench than coming off the bench than as a starter.
This is a good question, man. I think all strikers will be happy to score regardless of context. Like, if they're coming from the bench, great, no problem. I do think his mentality will probably not allow him to be happy with being a bench player. But also, I look at the money that we spent on him. I mean, he cost less than Havertz, let's be clear.
Literally.
Yeah, he cost less than Havertz. So I think there's an expectation, at least from the coaching staff and maybe even from the players, that he is the rotational piece kind of thing. But he gives us something different. In certain contexts, we have to start Gyökeres over Havertz. Like, 100%, I get it. But in my mind, I still look at him as a rotational piece, despite him starting, the first 7 games of the season. That's the way I view him. It's genuinely up to him to change my mind in that regard. But yeah, I don't think he'll be happy coming off the bench, to be honest, because he was the main man at Sporting. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
that's fair.
Yeah. But again, Arsenal are massive, so he might just be like, you know what, it's fine,
I do think, to be fair, I do think he'll start a lot in the Champions League. I think he's more suited to the Champions League in the way that the play that teams play against us in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Than the Prem.
Yeah. I expect I think he'll actually do quite well against Atleti, I really do. Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I suppose now we've got to look at it from I wouldn't say morbid, but yeah, we spoke about Odegaard already, but yeah, next steps now for us is managing this team without Odegaard for what might only be 2 weeks, 3 weeks kind of thing. But I'm not putting my eggs in one basket. I'm not expecting, us to magically heal him in 2 weeks kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be back after the international break. I'm going to give him at least a month.
Yeah. We've got Fulham away, which is by far, and I mean by far, my least favorite away game of the season. Like, it's not even close. Old Trafford used to be that, but now it's definitely Craven Cottage. Straight after international break. What are your expectations there? Right, if everyone comes back in the same half they're in now, basically, what's your expectations there? What team do you go with there?
That's actually kind of hard. I think that you kind of has to start one of Martinelli or Trossard on the left wing, and put Eze in the middle as the 10.
Yeah.
Because I just can't see. I don't want to see Mikel Moreno in midfield again with Eze on the wing. I'd prefer we always keep somebody creatively in the middle. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Dean, if you're listening to this, a little bit more creative than Mikel Moreno.
I wasn't going to correct you. You just have to spoil it. Go on.
A little bit more creative than Mikel Moreno. God forbid we get into another fight. God.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Do you think like our actual approach in the summer? It's obvious we're bearing fruits of it, but do you think it's going to get any better later in the season? Because I really feel like it is. Like we're already
I
seeing the
do.
benefits of it now, but I just I'm just imagining March, February, March, Saka is still really fresh, like really, really fresh because of our squad depth kind of thing. Um, yeah, how much better do you see it? Do you see it coming? Because Odegaard's injured and we're sad, but we're not panicking.
Honestly, I feel like I shouldn't say this because I don't want to get myself excited, but it kind of feels like 2 seasons ago, that 23-24 season when we were 2 points off the league and we lost to
Mm,
City, where we started the season, I wouldn't say badly, but
mm,
not great. This season we started pretty well, and we had
mm,
some hard fixtures this season.
mhm,
We're top of the league, and it doesn't matter now. Like being top of the league in October doesn't
mm,
matter. I want to be top of the league in May.
mm,
But I think we have the squad to do it. So I feel like when I watch us now, we're like in first or second gear sometimes. We're not in full flow yet.
mm,
But we're getting there. Game by game, we're getting there. Because look at what we did in this game. And I granted the opposition is very different.
mm.
But what we did in this game looks a lot different than what we did against Man United. And we
Yeah,
won that game.
yeah.
It's a lot different than what we played against City. I mean, I just wanted to see us progress a little bit better. That's it.
Mm,
I like personal progression, like player by player, but there's a lot of players who are already playing very well, like Zubimendi, like
yeah,
Timber. They're both of them are in full flow. I think we'll see a lot more from Calafiori
yeah,
soon, as long as he stays fit, because he should have had a goal. He should have had a
yeah.
goal.
I need to celebrate a Calafiori goal again, man. I miss it.
Yeah, that guy. I actually is so funny because I forgot that he already scored this season.
Yeah, he scored a win against United.
Yeah, scored against United, and I was like, "Oh shit, that game feels like ages ago now." Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that we'll progress. We'll
Mm,
progress as long as we're getting 3 points along the way. I don't give a damn. We could
yeah.
play badly the whole season, and as long as we win the league, I wouldn't care. But
Yeah. I'm very, very cautious of our next 5 games. Genuinely, like people are like, "Oh yeah, easier fixture list." Listen, Palace, even though they lost today, Palace are really good. Fulham, we already
very
know
good.
about. We should absolutely back. I think we've got Burnley as well.
Yeah, Burnley,
We sh-
Sunderland, and then Spurs right after.
yeah. So again, Spurs is at Emirates as well, isn't it? I think yeah, Spurs is at
That
Emirates.
whole I know I'm moving a little bit farther ahead, but I'm when I looked at the fixture list and
Mm,
I saw that we had Spurs and Chelsea back to back twice
mm.
this season, honestly, I wanted to vomit. Like I
We
was
got them back
like
to back.
back to back twice, back to back twice.
I think it's
I
Stamford Bridge
said
first.
your supercomputer is a liar. You could do this a million times
A
and it wouldn't
lie?
give you back to back the same team.
That's
So
rattled
egregious.
me.
That's so
I don't like that.
crazy.
I don't like that. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll be back to full complement soon enough, I suppose. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or else I'll literally set Gabby on you. Like she beats people, guys. Just so you know. But yeah, Gabby, you know, so tell the people.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, all the fans that were listening to this, listen. Every week, you don't want to be the main character. We're not the main character this week. Liverpool, I'm on you. I'm on you.
All right, peace, everyone.
Peace.